In this video, I'm going to show you how to relieve hand arthritis pain in 30 seconds. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over 3 easy ways that may help relieve hand arthritis pain within 30 seconds. A note about these exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. To get the best results, go through them all, use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So if you're dealing with a lot of arthritic hand pain right now, this is where I would start. We're going to focus on getting quick pain relief by targeting soft tissue tightness and also helping to improve circulation towards our fingers. This is a good one to do if you're in pain, but a great one to do daily to help manage symptoms. So whatever side that you're having more pain, let's say it's your right hand, start with that hand palm side up. The other hand is going to cup around the palm. So support the top of your hand with your fingers like this. Your thumb is going to be on the inside towards the pinky. We're going to start by focusing on the lower portion of the palm where the carpal bones are at. If you're unfamiliar with the carpal bones, they're kind of like pebbles that run all through here, and they can cause a lot of issues, including hand pain, wrist pain, thumb pain, even carpal tunnel syndrome. So let's get everything nice and loose. What we're going to do first is take our thumb right here, and you can use the tip of it or the flat portion. If you use the tip, it'll be a little bit more pinpoint. I'd experiment with it, go with what works better for you. But you're just going to go right on the inside right here and press into that soft tissue right at the wrist and glide upward like this towards your finger. Really digging in there as much as you can, but only to the point where it's a comfortable self-massage, not causing any discomfort. I like to do this roughly about 5 times over one spot, and then I kind of see how I feel. If it feels pretty loose, just move more towards the middle part of your palm and repeat this over and over again until you get to the thumb right here. You're probably going to find that one certain spot, like right here for me, just is really tight, achy, or maybe just a lot of pain right there. At that point, stop over it and do this over and over again until everything is nice and loose, or you're not getting any more improvement. So afterwards, what we're going to do is now target what are known as the long bones right here of the hand, called metacarpals. You can kind of just grab onto, if you start like right below your finger right here and kind of wiggle in there, you'll trace those long bones going all the way down. So you really want to press right into those long bones going all the way up to the bottom of your finger as much as you can. Just dig in there. Do that about 5 times over all fingers. If you find that one metacarpal or just one spot is just the pinpoint one that's causing you the most amount of pain, what you can do at that point is kind of pinch into that metacarpal and start to wiggle it back and forth, going from the bottom all the way towards the top. So what I'd like to do is just put as much motion into that bone as much as possible like this and try to free up that joint. You might get a lot more relief, so give that a try. So after everything in the palm is nice and loose, let's really focus on the thumb right here. So I'd like to dig into the meaty portion of the pad right here, just making sure that that is nice and loose, and work your way all the way up into the thumb right here as much as you can, and also going on the outside. Afterwards, let's flip the hand over right here, and now we're going to target this area right here, kind of that meaty portion that goes into the webbing between our index finger and our thumb. This is a very sensitive area, so we're going to build into this one nice and slowly. Also, if you do have a condition called parchment skin, where the top of your hand right here, the skin is really thin, please use caution with this. We don't want to irritate that. So what I like to do is just kind of start right at the bottom right here, pinching into that meaty portion of that webbing, and I kind of just glide upward like this, just really pinching and gliding up. This usually feels really good, but it can be very, very sensitive. But do this about 5 to 10 times, just building into it with each repetition. Afterwards, what you want to do is then pinch into that meat and then hold that for about 15 seconds. And do this to the point where it is a deep pinch, as much as you can tolerate. It's just going to help loosen everything up. Hold that about 15 seconds, release it, and then do it a couple more times. And you can switch the placement of your thumb and your index finger also to target any spot that needs it just a little bit more. But afterwards, see how you feel. I hope that gives you a lot of relief, and I would recommend doing this on both hands. But if you want to take this one to the next level, I would recommend investing in what is called a peanut massage tool. It kind of looks like a peanut. I got this locally at, I believe, like a Walmart for $5. They're very inexpensive. If you would like to get one online, I will leave a link in this video's comment section and description for this model. But the great part about the peanut is it does all of the hard work. You just kind of put it on a flat surface. What I like to do is just kind of start with a hitchhiker sign like this, and then just roll up and down, kind of really hitting that pinky portion. And you can get ones that are smooth or ones with a little bit of knobs right here. It's your choice. I like actually the spiky ones because it digs into those muscles a little bit more. But just roll up and down like this. The great part is you can also put the hand and the wrist through different motions. So kind of bring your hand up like this and do it. You can bring it down. You can tilt it in like this. You can tilt it out. Just experiment with it. You know, anything works better for you at that point, go with it. But hit the palm right here. Kind of cup the peanut tool while you do it to hit the fingers. So you can kind of do this and hit the fingers a little bit more. Flip your hand over, do the same thing, hit that thumb. It pretty much targets everything. Why the peanut tool is really great too is because you can also target the wrist, but more importantly, you can target the forearm. A lot of forearm tightness, especially with the muscles and tendons, they all lead up to the hand. So getting this nice and loose will help with our hand. So I would recommend doing this over the wrist on all sides, but also trying to hit all of those muscles in the forearm like this. But give that a try, and I hope that it gives you very quick pain relief. So with this exercise, we're going to focus a little bit more on mobility. That is breaking up stiffness in our hands being caused by arthritis. This is a great one to do throughout the day anytime you need quick pain relief. I'm going to go through several different movements. Each movement we're going to hold for a brief second and we're going to repeat 5 times. So let's start with our hands out in front of us like this, palms facing away. We're going to put our fingers together and then slowly curl our fingertips towards the top of our palms, right towards the base of our fingers. Press into your palm with your fingertips as much as you can. You should feel a ton of soft tissue start to fire around your fingers and also into the palm. We're going to hold this for a brief second. We're going to release it and then repeat this 5 times. So from there, we're going to take this one to the next level by reaching even further towards the middle portion of our palm, and then we're really going to try to reach towards our wrist. With each one of these, try to build into it just a little bit more. It's all about building range of motion and flexibility into these joints. We're then going to turn our attention a little bit more towards our thumbs. So let's put our fingers together like this and then clamp our thumbs towards our index finger. Press into it as much as you can. This time around, you should really feel it right in here. Again, a brief second hold, relax, repeat this 5 times. We're then going to take our thumbs and reach across our palm as far as we can. And then we're going to do a light circular motion and then try to build into this by doing big wide circles with your thumbs. Doesn't matter what direction you go in because we're going to do this for 5 times and then switch it up and repeat. Next, I'd like to make a fist by just clamping down like this, holding this for a brief second, really trying to squeeze, and then we're going to open our fingers up and spread them as much as we can. Really focus on trying to feel it right here into the palm. Do this nice and slowly and try to, again, build into each one just a little bit more. So afterwards, I'd like to do my favorite movement, which is called piano fingers. It's just putting your fingers and hands, like out in front of you like this, and you're going to mimic just playing a piano. Just kind of move your fingers up and down as fast as you can and in different directions. Do this roughly for about 10 seconds. Relax and then repeat this a couple more times. Afterwards, I just like to do a nice circular motion with my wrist, making nice big wide circles, doing this roughly about 5 to 10 times in one direction, and then switching it up and repeating. But you're going to notice that one certain movement or position offers you the most amount of relief, or maybe it's one that you really struggle with because you have a lot of stiffness. Maybe it was basically taking your fingers right here towards the middle portion of your palm. At that point, treat it like your weak link and throw more repetitions in until you're starting to see improvement or everything is nice and loose. So with this exercise, we're going to focus a little bit more on strengthening our hands and our fingers. If you have hand arthritis, it is really important to strengthen everything to help manage symptoms. We're going to need a basic rubber band. I would start with one that's a little bit thinner instead of one that's thicker. It will offer less resistance, and you'll find that it's easier to do at the beginning. And later on, once you gain more strength or just get used to this exercise, at that point you can use thicker bands as needed. So we're going to start with one end around our thumb. The other end is going to go right on the bottom of our index finger. Pretty straightforward. We're just going to take our index finger and our thumb and spread them out as much as we can, fighting the resistance of this rubber band. Once I can't go any further, I like to hold this for a couple seconds, and then what I'm going to do is slowly close my index finger and thumb, again fighting the resistance of that band. So we're fighting it going out and also in. Try to do this for about 5 repetitions in both directions, but if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you can throw in as many repetitions as you like. To make this more challenging, just move the rubber band closer towards the tip of your finger. It definitely becomes a lot more challenging, so give that a try. From there, we're just going to move on to our middle finger and then repeat, doing this on all fingers all the way to the pinky finger. You're probably going to notice that one finger maybe just has a lot of weakness, or that's the finger or the movement that's given you the most amount of achiness or pain. At that point, try to throw some more repetitions in. Treat it like your weak link and always focus on that. So if you do want to make this one more challenging because one rubber band is not good enough, you can just add another rubber band. So the great part is you can really amp this up as much as you can by just adding as many rubber bands as needed. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.